It's been quite an interesting week. Of course, a week where things are happening from Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. It's election fever everywhere. Presidents doing the worst things, but others still doing good things. I don't know. But women presidents.
Oh, wow.
Whatever you are doing.
Wow.
God knows. Dr. C.
Dr. C.
I have a problem with women presidents.
You mean princesses?
Introduce yourself first.
Yeah, Dr. C, winemaker. Even though today I'm drinking water, but I'm going to be preaching wine through and through. This is water today.
Okay.
But we're going to be, Samantha Wines, we're going to be preaching, and I'm going to be telling you how to be a princess. As a woman, you are brought on earth to destabilize the status quo.
Guys.
Yes, and then create, then we start afresh.
My goodness me.
Oh, wow. My goodness me. You are in for a show. Okay, and I'm Maria, and I'm so happy to be here. Let me say something, by the way. You see this 50-50 mentality of 50-50? Now, when it comes to leadership, you've seen the effects and the advantages of it. I hope you have.
Anyway, I'm CEO Charles Otieno. I'm in the show which I love most, but the problem is women leaders are showing us pepe. Pepe. Women leaders are showing us pepe, as a Nigerian would say. And let's start with what happened in Tanzania, for example. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the president of the Republic of Tanzania, we call it Republic because it's a union of Zanzibar and Tanganyika, was voted in a record of 31.5 million, a rise of 9 million from what John Pombe Magufuli got, which was 12.5 million. Samia Suluhu Hassan was at almost overtaking Julius Kambarage Nyerere, the iconic leader of Tanzania, who got 98% of the vote, 0.05. So the only difference is Suluhu's vote was 0.33% less than Nyerere's vote. What is your take?
So, I think so. First of all, I want to start saying my condolences.
True.
First of all, to anybody, the families that lost their loved ones through this election period for Tanzania. My sincere condolences. So my sentiments do not in any way, because I'm just going to flip on the other side and say.
I know.
Number one,
yes.
You know, we are so used to the status quo and seeing how men mishandle us when they are in leadership. And now when we show you the mirror, you're actually surprised. Yeah? Men have been doing this thing for the longest time. And women have just perfected it. Like, we can do this thing. Yeah? On one level, like I said, condolences. Yeah? I'm always the one who has said, perhaps democracy in the way that we know it is not for Africa. Completely it's not. And now family, I want to say it's really not. Okay? Call me whatever you want to call me, socialist, whatever. Yeah, so that said, I'm just thinking, I think so that when Samia came in, she embodied, the Utu, the mama of the nation. She deployed everything there is in the book of power, the 40 laws of power. She is reading it. 48 laws of power. She is reading it. I think it's on her bedside. It is on her bedside. And she deployed everything in that. Employed more women. She, she stabilized the nation. And I think so that people started to take her and treat her. She's just a woman. She's just a woman. And now when she decides to flex, I don't think we would be talking about it in this way. So mine is to say that I think we should all be fair, be human, and not look at this through the eyes of she's a woman. If she's a bad leader, she's just a bad leader. We need to stop gentrifying things. That's my take.
I, for one, am looking forward to a time where we will have elections without bloodshed. I am looking forward to a time where it will happen, someone will lose, someone will be a sore loser, someone will be a happy loser, or someone will get the power but without the bloodshed. I'm looking forward to that in Africa, because the sad part of all this is that blood was shed. But on saying that, if I could read anything about Samia, he was actually the contrary of what the previous leader was. Like they would say that Magufuli was more authoritative, this one is more diplomatic. Like anytime they would put Samia on a table and start talking about her, they would make it sound and feel like she was actually the model leader. But now that and remember, she served under Magufuli. So this also should come to a fact that she knew the moves, she knew the ropes. She knew how to go by it, she knew how to work. The only issue here is, if it was a man, I think we would be underlining or looking at the mistakes. Like, how did you get the 31 million, or why is there bloodshed, or why is it? But right now we are looking at a woman did this. It's more like, I would say, it's always an issue if the crime or the mistake or the story or the news or whatever is said, if it is to be put on a man's head versus if it is to be put on a woman's head, it actually looks like we are supposed to just nurture and rebirth and not make moves. But when it comes to a man, when they do that, we will just take it as news. Oh, he did it. This is wrong. That's it. But we will not say that a man did. We'll say so and so did. But in this case, we are actually putting gender on the table because she is a woman. That is the only unfair part of all this. And yes, there are things that, there are moves that maybe she made that were actually not good, like the media freedom, which she had actually been the one who actually brought back media freedom when she was, in 2023, she said media freedom was supposed to be there. But right now, because of the election and everything that was happening, the media freedom was taken away. Let's not show the news, or let's shut down the internet. There are moves that she made maybe that were not good, that were not saying good about her. But they were not saying good about her as a leader, not as a woman, or good about her as someone who is vying, not as a woman. I just want us to put it on the table that the things she did that were not good, she did it out of a presidential candidate, not because she was a woman.
Now, for this gender card is so bullshit because of one reason. There is no leadership in Tanzania before Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, who has jailed all his opponents, all to go for before election. You cannot purport to be in an election where you take Tundu Lissu in prison. When Magufuli was there, Magufuli allowed Tundu Lissu to run. Yes. He allows the other exit to run, the main opposition parties to run.
So this is just because she's a woman.
We are not talking about women. We are talking about a bad leader.
Yes,
okay.
That is what I want us to talk
Samia
about.
Suluhu Hassan is a poor leader in all fronts. Number one, you jail your opponent. You take them for treason. You don't allow them to run against you. Totally wrong.
She's bad.
Bullshit. We cannot allow a country to progress like that. And the anger of Tanzanians is because the lady refused to allow competition. Competition is why people go to vote. Now, they were asking themselves, why did you get that 1 million and we didn't vote for you? Because we are choosing between Samia and Suluhu. That's what we are saying. That's why the innocence of Tanzanians left them, and that's why they went to the streets.
And Tanzanians are very peaceful people.
They are very peaceful, loving Africans.
Yes.
They knew that, okay, disallow Tundu Lissu, but allow the other party, Wazalendo, which is another big Chadema or Wazalendo. Let either of them run. But do not pick for us people from the streets and say with the small parties that they are running. It's like in Kenya, There's no opposition. You allow Mukaru Nganga and these small guys to run against you, and you tell us you're having election. So Tanzanians were up in arms against bad leadership. And we are saying it is not because she is a woman. We are saying that Samia Suluhu Hassan mismanaged the election and her CCM. She could not have ran alone in that election because Tanzanians are tired of people who want to purport that it's democracy which is veiled. Number two, if Samia Suluhu knew she was as popular, and let me tell you, without rigging election, Chama cha Mapinduzi, if you go to any interior of Tanzania, would get 75% of votes, by the way.
So she didn't need to do all this.
You don't need to do all this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You do not need to kill people to retain power, which you have.
But isn't there a law against vying alone?
No, I'm saying she didn't vie alone. She vied with other. It's like in Kenya, for example, you ban all the main opposition parties, but you pick the other street parties and you say they're vying. People who do not have mass and all that. Number two, you ban all the rallies from the opposition. It's not allowed. Let people go to the street and listen to each other and see. And then the Electoral Commission, the Tanzanians have been yearning for a new constitution, saying that their constitution is outdated because their constitution, and this is how the Tanzanian constitution states, that the moment the Electoral Commission of Tanzania bans you, you cannot go to court to challenge the results. Number one. Number two, if they decide you are the winner, there's no one who can challenge the votes. And Tanzanians are saying, no. This power should be rested in court, like the way Kenyans do. If I feel that, Maria, you have won unfairly, there's a recourse. We can go to court and we count the votes and it goes. So my problem with Samia is very simple. One, you kill the opposition. Number two, you ban them. Number three, you reach them out now with, you take, when the citizens rise, you allow the police to beat and kill. And you're saying, and you know the problem is the numbers of people who have been killed. And then you deflect it to say it's Kenyans, wanaharakati, which is wrong. So I would like to ask Mama Samia Suluhu, is if she, for example, have read a couple of, women are very gentle with power. Women understand power. Women understand leadership. They're not like men, because men are the ones who go. In the history of Tanzania, no one has been sworn in the way she was sworn in. Sworn in a military barrack.
And she's, you know, she's wearing all those things.
Sworn
I'm just looking
in a
like
military barrack.
Okay, she's
Without public.
In military gear.
Yes.
She's so not.
She has the audacity.
Like
she has so much
woman.
audacity.
So for me, I have a problem with all these things. And Tanzanians are bleeding because today there are many people whose children have not been found. They've gone looking for them in hospitals, in morgues, and they are not been found. They are Kenyans. They are Kenyan family from Malego, Kademba, who are looking for their teacher, who had gone, a teacher's son who had gone to buy things on the shop, and the guy was killed.
Oh,
now,
gosh.
they were saying, the family is saying that the friends say that they were shot and the police loaded those bodies into a lorry and they are suspecting they were thrown in the sea. You know, it is just bad to kill, but it is bad to not allow people to have closure. It is bad to have Tanzanians not have closure of their loved ones who are killed. And the numbers are crazy. People are saying between 300 to 700. Others are saying 5,000. No one knows the exact number of people, but it was a massacre. You cannot kill the public who are angered because of a rigged election. Or you put yourself in, or you offered yourself for election, and then you decide to go and win it on your own. He should, first of all, Mama Samia Suluhu should read. At least if she was read, and I always said in these 3 African books, number 1, please go and read Buchi Macheta, Joys of Motherhood, that you know killing some people's kids is very bad. Buchi Macheta wrote in Joys of Motherhood. Please go and read it. Number 2, go and read Nervous Condition, Sisi de Mararubenga from Senegal, about a woman raising her kids and you expect those kids to help you. You don't kill people's kids. And finally, she must read Miriam Abba, so long a letter to her.
Well, I think so that Samia, first of all, because of her behavior, now I want to look at her in terms of her leadership style. It has taken the gains that women have made. It has taken us like 50 years back.
To get them.
It has taken us back. So what's going to happen is that even in Kenya here, I see it really seriously affecting our elections.
Of course.
People are just going to look and say, if that is what it takes to have a woman in that space, then don't, and just watch, 2027, it will be used.
It will be used.
Because now she has painted women.
No matter how much of a good leader we could get,
yes,
it will still be used.
Because, by the way, if women want to be ruthless, they can be so ruthless. And, you know, she's just shown you the other version of what it means to be ruthless. And she has taken us back, all the gains that we have made. In Kenya, we had Wangu wa Mageri.
Yes.
She is a modern day on
Wangu
a bigger platform,
yeah.
Wangu wa Mageri. Because I think so that she had made so much gains in terms of having more women, like I said earlier, sitting in leadership positions. She already unified. When she was brought in, everybody was so happy, like, you know, they could see her as a woman, and she would have still won. So I think so that she was scared. Yeah. And she was more like, you men are just looking at me and treating me like a woman. I am going to show you. So you dig in, she digs in. You dig in, she digs in.
I think fear is what motivated, or actually fear was the problem that she had that got her into all this.
You think fear
no,
of bad
leadership?
Power.
Power. It's bad leadership and too much power.
Bad leadership.
It's just bad person.
You saw one of the Kenyan, one of the Tanzanian activists.
Yeah, Mange Kimambi.
You saw what they did to her.
Yeah.
When she crossed the border.
Kina Mange Kimambi, and they've actually elucidated this a lot of times.
Yeah. So she is just a bad leader. People should not look at...
Is power toxic?
No, it's the way you handle power and excess power. You see the Tanzanian constitution, and if you look at the way she was being sworn in, she said some words which I did not like, that saying that mimi kama amri jeshi mkuu mtajua mimi ni simba jike. Threats for who?
Ouch.
And this is her speech, I'm quoting.
She has just decided East Africa is going to be what it is.
And then
now it is what it is.
You cannot be all the time deflecting on Kenyans. And we have to tell her off about Kenyans. You cannot be saying wanaharakati wa Kenya, nchi jirani. All the time, Mama Samia has an issue. She has to deflect it to Kenyans. When she speaks about when we didn't have enough dollars, she would say, there's a time she said, hata majirani hawana dola walikuja kutuomba. Number one. Number two, and I quote her.
Did we actually omba?
No, my question I have a problem with her statement.
Did we actually omba?
No, we didn't. But
it just sounds like what women would say.
And number two, then
actually, it's all women like.
And then
she
says,
and then the other your
time,
power was disconnected.
And then she says, hata majirani wangu wanaongea kizungu kwenye giza. Is it Kenyan's problem? Number
That's
three.
What women,
it's just petty women issues. That's what they do every single day.
Women on the market.
She's not changed.
It's like
alichapwa jana na bwanake. It's like there's no difference. It's just her. That's who she is.
It's so hilarious. Oh
and
my
then
goodness.
the other time, she starts saying, wanaharakati wa nchi jirani wameanza kuja viumbe. Kenyans, we do not take such things, by the way. We will not be... If Samia has a problem with Kenyans, let her address us directly.
But she is.
But me, I know who is advising her.
Let her address us. Mama Samia should address Kenyans directly and stop hiding behind corners and cutting corners.
I wanted Tanzanians to really set an example.
Of what?
Of
what can happen to leaders like those?
You see now, they cannot set an example because they're being killed. You see,
their bodies are missing.
And number 2, their bodies are missing. And number 3, they have an outdated constitution which they've been fighting to change. You see, in Kenya, like what we are saying, the statement Dr. C has made that Mama Samia has increased the number of women in leadership. The problem, that's okay, but the only way to get number of women in leadership is to change a constitution with affirmative action like Kenya, where we say there are women rep which were brought in constitution, in every gender parity constitution agreed, and it is put in that document, where you say in every level of election, this number of women must be part of the team. Not a hoodwinking thing where you pick 3 women, you say you've done something for women. Women must be part of leadership in a structured manner, not because of someone's whims, in a constitution which is progressive and puts them at the center. That's what we are saying.
But you see now with the missing bodies and all that, the Tanzania itself, they are mourning or looking for closure, looking for their people. So in that aspect of things, there's confusion. That's what she's thriving with right now.
Let me tell you, even I don't think where she's seated, she's even aware or even seeing those things. How she's concerned. I think she's been blocked out of seeing all those things. She's concentrating, this is where we are going and that's where we are going.
And I am the leader and I'm taking you there.
Now, Simon says I sent a video on his reaction of Samia Suluhu.
Suluhu! Yes, I'm wearing the jersey of the people who you actually hate. All foreigners, they're running away from Tanzania as if Tanzania has a plague, and it does. You know what the plague is? A leader who cannot even think thoroughly that indeed she's actually leading people to the downfall of the nation. You see, this is what happens when a lot of African leaders, they just want to cling to power and hold on to it. Suluhu reminds me of a lady who wants to hold on to a relationship when that relationship is already dead. Nobody wants to be with you anymore. We want to break up and leave you alone. But then she set up the whole system. You see, even lady leadership can be very toxic. This is what toxic leadership even looks like. Right here, blatant, right in your eyes, right in front of you. Right there in Tanzania, you see what people are going through. People are dying, you think she cares. Oh, sioni kitu, mimi mama wa taifa. Wrapped up like a whole burrito. That's what she does. And she's literally not listening to anybody. I think it's because even her head is wrapped up and her ears are closed up. And she's not listening to her people. Tanzanians are screaming. Tanzanians are dying. And it's not even a laughing matter if you see me smiling. That's a serious issue because when people are dying and you say that you're the leader, you're leading a dead nation. I'm going to repeat that again. When people are dying and you are the leader, you're leading a dead nation. It's very important to take note of this. So even Suluhu, even other African leaders who are holding on to power, please take note. People are rising up. People are becoming well aware. And I'm not only speaking to Suluhu, I'm also speaking to some people here in Kenya who may think that in 2027 that they'll hold on to their power. Where? What down?
So you've seen
he
Simon?
Is crazy.
Yes.
Simon, he's crazy. Come and bring your craziness in the next
episode. Yeah.
Yes.
So what we are saying is that we are not refusing that Samia could have won election. Samia could have won election without
all
any
this
aid.
Now she's facing ICC.
Without any fights.
By just being herself and fighting
Let
fair.
me tell you, Chama cha Mapinduzi is the most popular party in Tanzania, 75%, especially rural Tanzania. You don't need to rig. So you don't need to break Nyerere's record, for heaven's sake.
And that's why I'm saying it's fear. Someone
even
scared
John Pombe
her.
Magufuli just won with 12.5 million, surely.
That's why I'm saying someone could have scared her, or they will win. So she decided, let me put them in jail.
But you saw what Obama said.
Yeah.
You saw?
Yeah.
That you close all your, you put everyone in jail.
Yeah.
Then you wake up one day. Elections are not just one like that.
It's not an event. And even now, the worst thing is that even observers from Africa, from East Africa, from European Union, all of them were harassed by the army and the police and deleted all the reports. So what nonsense was that? What is she doing?
The big question here is, now she has the seat.
And you see now, and the big question is not she has a seat, that the Tanzanian Union will actually have a big problem. Remember, she is from Zanzibar. Remember, she is a Zanzibari. And the Tanganyika, the mainland, will have a big issue because a lot of their kids have been killed. I'm telling you. And this can be the first thing which will cause a dissolution of that union.
I was thinking about that.
They'd cause a Zanzibari killing Tanganyika people, and you think they'll sit down watching her just rule like that?
I was thinking about that. This might be the beginning of the
end. Let's go for a short break.
Yeah, it's been real.
Yeah, that has been really, really real. We'll be right back on Let's Be Real.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show, and on leadership and politics and women. Today we are actually tackling all of them. And on our next story, we are talking about the Namibian president. Yes, Nandi, the one who actually paid a huge amount of money to offset the loan that they have. Actually, it's not the entire loan, but at least she did a huge amount. She's one of the good presidents that we will say, okay, a good leader. I have said it's good not to attach gender to it, but she's female. Yeah, but she's a good leader. She's one of those ones that would say that maybe she's the one that is going to actually wipe people's sorrows on Samia and make us even have a female leader in future. If not me, anyone else? Or Dr. C, are you vying?
C?
Vying for presidency? Yeah, I was thinking about No, honestly. Okay, honestly, I was thinking about it.
To vie?
Yeah, but on for some political leadership of sorts. For this reason. Yeah? You know, my father told me a story the other day about just after independence, there were people who were giving land, those sides of Kitale, for free, just after independence. Land was just being given. Watu wanapeana tu wanapata. So, yeah, so, and I usually ask him, and Daddy, where were you? So you should have been there to get now we would be so rich. Huh? Sometimes I wonder. I'm sure maybe my great-great-grandchildren will be asking, where was our grandmother when people were grabbing all these things?
I wonder that too sometimes. I actually do wonder that.
Because if politics is just going to be about getting into power and just dividing, it's about division of wealth, you may as well get in, so you know, and just, you know.
Make a name for your grandchildren.
So that was the only point when I actually thought about getting into leadership. But otherwise, I had wanted to get in.
Yes.
Then my father told me, oh, it's dirty, what. Now I'm thinking of, I should have now gotten in for this very reason. Because the politicians who are there right now into leadership, and this I'm just talking about Kenyans before I get on to your Namibian president.
Yes.
They're just about grabbing power and, you know, distributing wealth in whichever way they can. So sometimes I wonder, how will I account to my progeny about where was I when people are grabbing? It's like, it's like we're just in that. But that said, there's some women doing well, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And this lady has done so well, which Suluhu should have actually done, right? Emulated, because Suluhu would have won anyway if she just concentrated on things like social welfare, which this lady has done. You know, repaying this debt, you know, telling these people, putting her people first. You want my people to pay to enter the US, you pay first. You know, if she would have just concentrated on those ideals, I don't think, and even just bringing it back home to East Africa, let me say East Africa, Mr. Kyoto Subaru, let me just say, bringing back this story. I think if you create jobs, if you create the environment good, leadership good, watu watakupatia kura.
Actually,
I don't think anybody cares.
I think mostly people want a leader that will make the change and take care of them and their problems.
Yes.
Like, can we have the good health system? Can we have jobs? Can we have a way that we can have good security? So such things are what people are looking at. People are actually looking at their problems when they're thinking of a leader. They're not looking at who you are. If people would act, if sometimes leaders will sit down and ask themselves what actually people want, they just need to their problems solved. And that's it. They're not looking at who the leader is. Many a times they don't care about the leaders. And if we are learning anything, we should learn that by our country, everything that has been happening. People have been putting their problems on the table. And if we get a leader who can solve those problems, then we are somewhere. Actually, we will not even mind who is trying to vie, will be who is solving those problems.
So I think the Namibian President Atumbo Nandi is one of the greatest women we'll have in African continent, because if you look at the way, first of all, when she won election in Namibia, is how she reorganized her government. And there was a semblance of she's going to make Namibia work. Remember, Namibia is a country which people live in Windhoek, and the rest of the country is mostly a desert. So, and the areas where they can do and mines is where they live on. So the biggest thing she did is, first of all, take on as a minister as well of more key portfolio, which makes decisions, so that she can look at the money. Finance was key for her, very key in her reorganization, and said, this ministry will be under me because I'm the president. I will make sure the way we use our resources, I have and I know how it reaches the people and how we sort our debt. And what she did is to pay $750 million on a single day as part of the sovereign debt the country owed. And Namibians were very happy because she did not misuse the finances. The problem of many African states, and we say, is that they receive a lot of money, but they cannot account for it. What she's doing the best is to be accountable of every shilling which comes into the treasury and the coffers, state coffers. And when she gets it, she's paying it the way that it's supposed to be paid, so that in the long run, Namibia will be debt-free. Remember that the biggest problem African states suffer is that the leadership do not want us to be debt-free, so that they can continue stealing from the national treasuries. So this president has done what many African leaders have failed to do. And being a woman, she has really put Africa on the map and showed the leadership that it can happen. The way the Burkinabés are doing with Traore there. And this brings us to a new breed of African leaders who are coming up, who are very patriotic, who do not need to steal and to build things. They just want the country to be in a nice takeoff stage. And that's what they are doing. They are not the Mr. Tumbocrats who are just saying, let's take 10 million, but we give Africans, the country 5. That's what they are doing. And then another mistake is that the advantage we have with the president is that being the first female president in Namibia, she has learned from what other people have done. They have seen people have misused the resources. The only other female president we've had is Joyce Banda of Malawi, who did also very well. So Samia should have looked up and said, just down there, Joyce Banda did very well in 2012 to 2014 for the Malawians after the death of Bingwa Mutharika. Now, there's a Namibian president doing extremely well, and being a Tanzanian and a socialist state as that, she would have done much better than what she's doing.
So it goes without saying that we should not let Samia's situation or issue blind people on women can actually be good leaders.
They are very good women leaders. That's what we're saying.
So there is hope for any woman to be a president or to do something great in the society.
If you elect Martha Karua, for example, I believe she'd be a very good, perfect president. Martha, and she has shown her leadership credentials that she does not like corruption. You'll never find her in any scandal. Even in Kibaki's government, when she was a minister for justice, she resigned. So there are people who, and if you went to, one day I went to Raila Odinga's office in Capitol Hill, and when you walk into that office, the first thing you look is what Raila had on his wall. And it was a quote I love from Martin Luther King. And he says that you might be 38, and at that time, a very big ideal will be called upon you to stand on it and to say something. But if you do not stand on an idea, or something which is right, you are as dead as, even if you live as to 90 years, you died at 38. So there are people who believe in ideals and logic, and Martin Luther King quote just captures it.
Yeah. So I really like what you're saying. You know, the fact that, and also I like what you're saying, the fact that this is happening in Africa, we shouldn't take it as if it's just women. And it's not an African problem.
It's not.
It's a worldwide problem. So there is the problem of the fact that, yes, you can have a woman who is a good leader. Okay? But there's the other problem, that you can have a woman who is also a good leader, but men want to put you in your place. And we've seen it this last week on an international forum where the Mexican president was actually groped and spanked. Like, it was so public.
That's not putting her in her place.
It's like, you know, it's like asserting. It is a very, for me, the way I look at it, it's a way in which men actually very primitively want to put you in your position and remind you you're just a woman. And just being a woman, you know, try to reduce you to a sexual object. And therefore, because you're just a sexual object, you can't lead us. So even as we talk about this, I wanted us to weigh in on this. And me, I want to start with this man on my right. What are your opinions about this?
You know, Mexico is a junta state, number one. Mexicans.
Junta?
Yeah, I find it, Mexicans have so many problems in that country that whatever displayed on the president is what goes on in the streets of Mexico City and other places. It means that the Mexicans are not treating their women right. If someone would have guts to spank the president, what about the woman on the streets? Ask yourself.
Yes.
Who do not have power, position, affluence, or anything, or security. It means that the woman on the street is at risk of more problems than the president. So it is a societal problem in that country which they have to sit down and address, because what they witnessed cannot be an isolated case. It is something which is happening in what we call the favelas. Those are the slums of those countries in the South America. It must be happening in the favelas. There's a lot of maybe rape, indecent issues going there, and there is no way out for the women there. So we just need to ask ourselves, did that country have a progressive document which takes care of their women? Because, and I go back to Ngugi wa Thiong'o, they say that to see the development of a nation, and he said in The Wizard of Crow, he says that for any to understand how a nation has developed, you must see the progress of its women. The progress of women indicates the level of development of a nation. So if people mistreat women, you know that country is the least developed in matters of morality, social issues, and political. So the president of Mexico has a right to sue. And that man should be taken to jail so that other men could learn that you cannot grope someone in public or in private without her consent.
Yeah, and without consequences.
Yes.
There has to be consequences, you know? No, like, but she legislated, right?
Yeah.
She went to legislate.
Immediately. it should be.
Immediately.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The development of a nation, if it's been public, it shows what happens there.
But you see now, if this man wouldn't have done it to her, all the women in the streets would still be going through it and just feeling bad about it and not having a say about it. So also, let me be a devil's advocate and say this man actually saved so many women in the streets who actually go through it. Yeah, he actually did, because right now it's illegal, it's wrong. But this is what I have to say. I don't understand why, like, someone will have courage
To grow up a president.
Yes. Like, how do you get the courage to grow up a president? Okay, I mean that. Okay, I mean so that, okay, if, let me just start by saying, me as Maria as a person, you cannot touch me without my consent. And I will make a big deal out of it. Like, it will be a very, very big deal. So does it mean that women there do not make a big deal out of it? Like, no one has ever turned and slapped a guy for doing something like that? Because sometimes these people need to be shown dust. Like, we need to just show them that you are not supposed to do that. It has gotten to a point whereby women have to fight for themselves, because sexual harassment is not something, in this era and age, you're not supposed to be making it look like you groped. It's okay, even if it's in the slums of Mexico. Women should not allow such a thing to happen to them, because respect starts with teaching these perpetrators that, hey, you need to learn to ask for consent. Because how did he get the guts to, you are the president?
Maria,
and
you're
then
forgetting, not all constitutions are progressive as Kenyan constitution.
Yeah,
and you're
thank God for
forgetting
Kenya.
that most of the Mexican people, there are very many gangs in those South American states.
So women are weak.
And
weaklings.
not weak. You can easily die in those countries. Easily die. Those are not countries like you walk in and you just say at you, I'll make noise. The guy just shoots you dead there.
Yeah, but
So these guys have mothers and sisters.
Remember, they're next to Colombia. What?
And
The
sometimes I
biggest
ask
business
myself
is
that,
drugs.
they, like, before you do that to someone else, do you have mothers and sisters and you know that they go
But it's
through
a
that?
patriarchal society. It's a very like, I think most societies in the world are very patriarchal. And therefore, this may not even have been a political statement.
It's not.
This guy must have just been
Just likely.
deranged
Yes, yes,
someone from just trying to tell this woman,
You are
like,
a woman.
we are putting you, like you're just a woman.
You're just a woman.
Infantilizing her, you know? Sorry. My earring just dropped.
You're just a woman.
Right
Like,
in the middle.
okay, I don't know why I have an issue with that I can do this because you are just
A woman,
woman.
yes. In some patriarchal societies are like that. It has happened even in Kenya here. Even in parliament, in our parliament, much as we have the legislation, by the time Millie Odhiambo was saying she's going to even get a second husband if the constitution allows it, you know, because she's one of those people who has really stood up against, even in Kenya we have legislation, there are people who've tried to put her in her place, that you are just a woman, and she's given such a rebuttal. You can see it on TikTok.
Is there
everywhere.
any day, any time the society will ever not take it like just a woman?
Of course, the society doesn't take it just a woman. It's just not everyone says it's. And I think it's wrong to say society is leadership, some leadership which has a problem with women in power, not everyone else.
So other people are...
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's been real.
Yes.
It's been real. But my last word to Samia Suluhu Hassan, stop killing Tanzanian and Kenyans. They are no longer innocent. They know what you did. We know what you did last Sunday. We know what you did in that election.
I don't know. I have no words.
No, we
for
know
her.
what she did.
Yeah, but personally, for a last word, I have no words for her.
Okay.
In that military fatigue,
For me, I would say that we should not judge women leadership based on what Samia did. Let's do it based on what the Namibian president did. because I will vie next time. I need you to vote for me.
And a shout out to one of my hip hop groups from Tanzania who've been standing firm with Tanzanians. When all the Kina Diamonds are sleeping and singing the Green Army. And of course, Romam Katoliki and of course, Stamina. For all those good music you do about wanaharakati. Keep up.
I think I had Diamond's offices work.
Yeah, because they're behaving as if they are the members of CCM. They should. Art is supposed to be the mirror of society.
Yes.
Art should not be talking and singing to be given money. That's why King Kaka says.
I'm so disappointed.
Wajinga, Diamond, all those top artists are bullshit in Tanzania. Apart from Romam Katoliki and of course Stamina, the Rostam duo.
Shusha, do something. Shusha, do something.
Keep listening next week.